It's just about shooting light on January the 2nd, 2023. This is my first hunt of the new year. I hope all y'all had a safe and happy new year. And I'm back in Virginia now, going after one more doe. I got one more doe tag and then I'm tagged out, so we got a week of the season, but there is a late antlerless season for this county as well, so could be in the opportunity to have several sits left in this hunting season. But hoping to get the first deer 2023 and close out this incredible season that I've had. It's a very comfortable January 2nd morning. It's probably about 40 degrees, close to no wind. It's pretty calm, and I'm set up in this spot, this stretch of timber between a bunch of fields, so hopefully I catch some deer moving in to the bedding here in the next few minutes. I'm going to be out for at least an hour or two here and hopefully see some good deer movement. There's a lot of deer on this property. This is where I shot that buck back in October, and the same property I shot it, and a couple other, the first does I shot this season. So like I said, a lot of deer out here. I'm excited for the sit. I haven't been out since the day I shot that buck, so it's been over a month and a half, I think. Beautiful morning we got, so I'm gonna sit tight and hope they're moving good. Just a bunch of deer, maybe like 50, 60 yards. I don't think they're coming nice morning. There's still a young doe bedded maybe 63 yards behind me. And I don't know if I've seen more deer in a single hunt than I did this morning. It was insane. I don't know what had these deer moving the way they were, but there's a field on the other side of this woods I'm in, 100 yards away, and at 7:30 this morning I heard a stick snap, and I looked behind me, and there's at least 20 of them, 20 or 30, hauling across that field and into the next set of woods on the other side. And then I spotted this one that's bedded back here, and I saw another one that ran through the field out in front of me. And I don't know, around 9 a.m. had a second group of deer come through here, and it looked at first that they're going to cross right through this woods and get right within range, but they never ended up coming through. They walked the edge of the tree line, and that edge is 60-70 yards, so just wasn't in the books for me this morning, I guess. I had that one spike came through at 43 yards, but I can't shoot a spike, so yeah, just an amazing morning for deer movement. Really surprised, and there's definitely plenty of deer out here. It's a shame if that yearling were to get up and walk this way, I'd shoot it for sure, but looks like it's not going to be happening because I can't hang out here all morning. But I'll probably be able to get out a few times this week, so hopefully I can get it done and put an exclamation point on this season. Anyways, I'm going to probably start packing down here in a few minutes. It's probably 10:15. But I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you from the woods next time. Good morning, everyone. It's just about camera light, a little bit after shooting light here. It's January the 16th, and Virginia's deer season has come and gone. It was a record book season, and it ended on the 7th of January. I was able to get out with my dad and my brother on public land and draw a conclusion to a really, really stellar season for me. And if you guys want to see that video, go on and check out the Public Land Diaries playlist. The whole story this season was a really good one, so I hope you guys watch all the episodes there, and hopefully you enjoy it. In the county that I live in, the season still goes on. We have a late antlerless deer season, and I've been able to get out a good amount over the past 2 weeks, but with this late season hunting, it's been pretty tough. I've had a couple of really close calls, some scenarios where it just hasn't worked out, not necessarily making any mistakes. It's just the hunting's really hard this time of year with how cagey these deer can be and how little cover are up in these trees. So it's a beautiful morning. We've had a series of days here, past 3 or 4 days. The winds have been in the upper 20s, but today it's died down a good bit. It's in like the low 30s. It feels like it's probably in the mid 20s. I've already had one deer, small, nice 2-year-old buck, come through about 15 minutes ago. So looks like they're moving. Just hope the does are doing the same thing. I haven't had one in range in a while, and it seems like whenever I get one in range, it's just a small buck. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna sit out the morning and maybe move around for the afternoon and hopefully get it done. down the tree line, coming right at me.
This late season has been a grind, and this morning was no different. Had that nice 2-year-old come right on the trail that I walk in on, and out behind me, ended up working back through the woods, and he worked into the woods across the field to my west, and in that same field I saw 2 more does just working away from me. And it was a pretty slow morning up until around 8 o'clock. I spotted this doe coming right up the tree line, and I thought it was going to work out perfect. She was coming right up the side that I wanted him to. Wind was perfect, but she ended up jumping in the tree line and actually working up the woods, and it's been like an hour since I've seen her the first time, and she finally started working up this way and actually came right at me up to like 18 yards, and there's this creek crossing right here at 18 yards, and she was just about to cross that, and that was when I took the shot. She was perfectly broadside. It looked like I hit her really good, and she bounded off. She ended up standing back behind me for a few seconds and then wobbling and falling over, and she's down right there behind me at 80 yards. It's my last tag of the season, baby. I'm tagged out in Virginia. It's been a banner year, and I'm gonna sit here for a few more minutes and soak it all in, and start packing stuff up and get down on the arrow, and I'll follow blood, and I'll catch up with you guys then. So that deer was standing right here, right before this creek crossing. My arrow's right here behind these leaves. Good looking blood. Yep. All right, let's take up the blood trail. Get our hands on her. Well, y'all, here he is. Turns out this is actually a button buck, but I have an antlerless tag, and this is an antlerless deer. And this property is a management property after all, so we're trying to thin the herd anyways. It's been a season for the record books for me, and this is a great way to top it off. I started off with a couple does out here. Ended up getting a really nice buck off this property too. Then another nice buck off of a smaller property, and the icing on the cake was that giant public land buck that I got in the early November. Guys, I hope you can tune into the Public Land Diaries playlist on my channel and see the whole story for that one, because it really is worth watching. But this is going to wrap me up for the deer season 2022-2023. Our first deer of 2023, and it's a great way to end a great season. Like I said, this is a management property, and this one's going to be great for the freezer. Just super thankful, and like I mentioned, this late season's been a bit of a grind for me. I've been getting out as much as I can, trying to capitalize on my time, and it seemed like things just weren't going to work out. Kept getting busted, not necessarily making mistakes, but this late season stuff, there's no cover in the trees, the deer are real spooky, and just wasn't panning out for me. So this morning I had a couple come through, saw a few from a distance, and this one was working up the tree line right towards me. Ended up jumping into the woods, and wasn't sure where he went. But an hour later he showed up walking right towards me and ended up hitting that creek crossing at 18 yards. The shot hit right where I expected it to, right where I was aiming. It was a great shot, and I'm not really sure how he lived so long. He didn't live that long, but he did bleed quite a bit. It was one of the better blood trails I've ever had, and he ended up just tumbling over right here 80 yards away from the stand. This is my first season hunting with this new bow, and it's been amazing for me. I've had the most successful season I've ever had, and most of it's due to my comfortability with this equipment. I just feel so blessed, so lucky to be able to get out in the outdoors and be as successful as I've been this season. And now I have a full freezer and really nothing to complain about. As for me going forward, I'm going to be holding out for the next month, probably doing some squirrel hunting here and there, but it's all going to be gearing up for land management and turkey season coming up. And guys, I just want to thank everyone who followed along for this deer season. As I've said 100 times now, it was a record book season for me, and all the support I've gotten on the channel and everything has just been amazing, and I really appreciate you guys watching. I got a little bit of a drag ahead of me. I'm going to get this guy cleaned up, get packed up, and get out to the truck. Until then, guys, I'll see you from the woods next time.